Wow.
Welcome to my video. I'm Kirsten Weiss, author of the Tea and Tarot Cozy Mysteries and the Wits End Cozy Mysteries. And this is my sister, Allison Charles, also known as Allison Chase. She writes romance. Anyways, in my Wits End series and also my Tea and Tarot series, I have a lot of baking going on, including a lot of scones. And we actually make scones quite a bit. We have 2 basic scone recipes, which we've modified and made kind of evil, I have to say. So this is Allison's recipe, which she modified using French vanilla coffee creamer instead of whipping cream. And it tastes so good. I mean, it can't be good for you, but none of the good stuff is, so we figured, okay.
I can't wait. I have a gingerbread recipe, and they have at holiday time gingerbread creamer, so for gingerbread scones. That's going to be happening.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing good about this. But anyways, so here we are. So first of all, cheers. Okay, so the basic scone recipe uses 2 cups of flour, which I have pre-measured, like those people in the cooking shows. It uses 1/3 cup sugar. And then it uses 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Yes, this is powder, not soda. So, 1. And, that was 1, wasn't it?
You're official. Just use a half a.
I really hope that was 1.5. I didn't put on my reading glasses. So, this may rise like crazy if I ever did it. Anyways, 1.5 teaspoons baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon salt, which I did not put on my counter. Pardon me. Let's see, where's my salt? Oh, here's salt. So, this does say 1/2 teaspoon. Yeah, 1/2 teaspoon. So, 1/2 teaspoon salt. Okay. And also the nut coarse beans. So mix the dry ingredients together, and then you've already washed your hands, which I have. Then we add a 1/2 cup butter, which I chop into pieces first. Oh, I should probably take my ring off. All right, that's good. Yeah. Oh, the paper's sticking to the butter. Oh, I'm not gonna do it that way. So I just do this.
Fancy.
Well, not really. I find the best, my mother, who learned from the Pennsylvania Dutch, used to cut butter into flour using 2 knives. But I have found it's a lot quicker and easier, and I think more effective if you just get in there with your hands. That's why you really need clean hands. And you just squish it with your fingers, so you're going to get some buttery, floury fingers, but it goes a lot quicker.
And sometimes I'd add the coconut before I put the butter in too.
Oh,
it's like a dry ingredient, but I'm sure it won't hurt to put it in after.
Okay. I'm going for after because I've already started this.
Yeah, this recipe sort of came about when I just had extra ingredients. It's supposed to be a chocolate cinnamon. What was it? Chocolate cinnamon. So you use just like chocolate chips and cinnamon. And I had some coconut. I just threw it in there, and I had cinnamon chips and threw it in there. And we discovered coconut is awesome for scones.
Yeah, it really is. No, what we have again is 2 basic scone recipes. This is one of them, and then we just add whatever fun ingredients, which today is going to be cranberry and coconut, into the scone mix. But you could put dried blueberries or
chocolate chips,
or chocolate chips, or cinnamon chips, or lavender and blueberries, which actually I like that quite a bit with coconut.
Yeah, I think even the coconut, even if you don't really want the flavor of coconut, I still add a little bit in, just I think it helps the texture of the scone for some reason. So it's just a sort of a base ingredient for me. But if I want it to be a flavor, then I add some more in.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you really hate coconut, then
I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
What kind of belong in this show?
So Alice, while I'm smashing butter, tell us about your books.
Ooh, which one?
Your latest one.
Okay. That's actually, so Playing by the Earl came out under Allison Chase.
I read that. It was very good.
Thank you. It's a steamy, naughty, historical Regency romance.
With spies.
Yeah, so he's a spy. She is She's a lot of things. She's an actress, but she's pretending to be sort of a street urchin. She pretends to be a boy at one time, but she's very fond of baked goods. And so there's a plum cake recipe. I actually have this book for like Jane Austen's, like a Jane Austen cookbook. And so I think I'm gonna have to try and make the plum cake.
We'll do that as a video for our Dutch.
She's always eating her plum cakes. She's got a bit of a sweet tooth.
Okay, so I've still got some lumps in here, but basically you want to get the flour so it feels like a meal, so you don't have big chunks of butter in it.
It's kind of sandy.
Yeah, kind of like a sandy.
Although when you knead it too, sometimes the butter, it doesn't hurt it. I've gotten lazy sometimes and had bigger chunks.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. Tell us in her. Anyways.
I'm all for lazy cooking.
Yeah, me too. Okay. So, I got it good and mushed in. And, sorry, I have to... well, screw it, I'm not going to. Alright, so then we add a half cup coconut, and I'm going to add a half cup dried cranberries, or craisins actually. Oh, ooh, wow, sorry. Spin the sharp knife. And I'm just going to mix that up, get the dry ingredients all good and mixed. And then we add
half cup.
A half cup. It's supposed to be, again, heavy whipping cream, but where are my cups?
Frankly, I've used all kinds of milk. I've used non-fat even. And then we had some leftover, because we're not coffee drinkers, creamer, and we decided that is the best. Flavored creamer.
Yeah, that was one of those necessity being the mother of invention moments. So half cup of the French vanilla creamer.
You sometimes have to add a little bit more, just the right consistency.
Okay, we'll start with a half cup, and if we need to add a little more, we will.
I'm so excited for scones.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's still still pretty dry, so I think I'm gonna add a little bit more.
I'll get a real thing for when you need.
Okay, so let me tell you about my Wits End series, because I've got a new book coming out. They're book 3, which is Close Encounters of the Curd kind, which involves lemon curd. And so Wits End is set in a UFO-themed B&B in the foothills of the Sierras. I call the town Doyle, but it's actually based on Murphy's, California. The reason I make up fake names is because I always make little mistakes in the stories about where this is and where that is, and then people get grumpy and say, no, the general store in Murphy's is on this street, not that street. So it's easier just to kind of make up my own town. Also, since these are amateur detectives, my amateur detective's name is Susan Wits End, and in a cozy mystery, if you have an amateur detective, the implication is that the police aren't really doing their jobs. So I don't want to insult actual police departments. I will insult imaginary police departments.
Also, who'd want to think that Murphy's has a murder rate of
Yeah, poor Murphy's.
1 murder a week?
Man, I kill so many people in that town. Because I actually have 2 series in that town, which is Wits End, which is just a straight, funny, cozy mystery. And then I have which is a Doyle series, which is magical cozy mystery. And in case you haven't noticed, I am actually kneading the dough. No, I actually like to knead it in the bowl.
Okay.
Save space. I don't like dirty up another board. And it needs just as well. You're not doing serious. This isn't bread. Well, it is bread, but it's not something that needs.
Where do you cut it?
Serious kneading. Oh, I just do that straight on the pan.
Okay.
So I have this now. So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying this is the right way to do things. I'm just saying it's the way I do things. So we have a nice wad of dough, which I kind of loosely flatten into a round disc. And I've got a lot of dough on my hand still, so I've kind of flattened it out. And then I get a pizza cutter. And I just
a knife works just as well, but she's being fancy.
A knife works just as well, I suppose, but actually a pizza cutter works better. It's easier to just roll it. And I just cut it because I'm greedy and I like I like big scones.
Cannot lie.
I cannot lie. So I just cut it into 6 wedges, as you can see here. And then I separate the wedges so that when they expand, they don't mush into each other. Oh, I had pre-greased the cookie sheet. The original recipe calls for using parchment, but
That's too fancy for us.
grease works, or cooking spray is what I use. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the oven, and then we'll.
For how long?
I am going to put this in the oven for 15 minutes, I think, although I don't see what's on here. So it's bake 14 to 18 minutes. So, okay, mine are a little large. I'm going to put, so you're supposed to bake 14 to 18 minutes. So, I'll be back. All right.
They smell good.
Now, magically, thanks to the power of a video, scones are done. Yay! And the kitchen is so clean. Amazing!
Clean while you bake, people.
Amazing! So you can see they're still pretty white, but they're starting to kind of brown around the edges, so that's how you know they're done. When can we take them off the cookie sheet, you think?
I do.
Right away?
Yeah.
Okay, my hands are starting to burn, so I have to switch. Okay, so let's see. Oh, yeah, it slides right off. So I spent 2 years living in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, working on a microfinance project. And while I was there, I got all sorts of amazing Central Asian plateware plates. They're actually Uzbek, not, in fact I know they're actually Uzbek designs and not Kyrgyz. Uzbekistan it borders with Kyrgyzstan, so delicious. But hot.
Yeah, I want to cook it a little bit.
Maybe I should know that. Well, anyway, because in all honesty, the best way to eat these scones is, of course, with like lemon curd or butter, but also while reading one of my cozy mystery novels in the Wits End series. The first book is At Wits End, the second book is Planet of the Grapes, and the third book, which is coming out on September 5th, 2019, in just a week, is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Alternately, I have my tea and taro series, which is set in a tea room, which of course serves lots of scones. So Steeped in Murder is another great book to serve with these scones.
Yeah, that's great. A pairing. Instead of wine and food, a book and food.
We need to do this.
Yes.
I think this is our new video series.
Okay, so this book is tea and taro.
Yeah. No. I'm promoting Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So this book, even though tea and taro has a lot more scones, Susan Wits End of my mythical B&B.
Well, she's a big lemon curd. She's trying to get rid of the whole book.
So yes, this is my Close Encounters of the Third Kind / At Wits End series promotion. Sorry, I had to get the ad in somewhere.
The book and those
scones. Yes. Close Encounters with cranberry coconut scones.
Wait, it's hot still.
I'm supposed to take a picture of this later. You just ruined my set. It's okay. So now you know why the picture that goes with this video has a bite out of the end of the scone. Don't put it back. All good. You'll also notice that my strawberry margarita is completed. Well, hers is not. So here's
It's the something.
Okay, so you can see the directions for how to make these scones in the description underneath this video, or at one of my fine blogs that I'll be posting this on. So have a great day and enjoy your scones and your cozy mysteries.
Yep. Okay.